Welcome back, my dudes. We are back at Edgemont Elegance. It is April 23rd, 2025, and we are here to check in and see what everybody has been doing for the last week. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so we'll wander around and have a quick look and see what's going on around here. But truth be told, even for somebody like me who deals with this stuff all the time, when you're at this stage of the project, it's pretty hard to exactly spot everything that's happened over the last week. Let's just wander around and have a look and see what else there is to see. So when I come and do these walkthroughs, what I'm looking for are nails sticking out of the walls. Not that it really matters at this point in time, because the electricians are gonna get here and they're gonna put even more nails in the walls to hold up jackets and wire and whatever else. It just is what it is. You know, one of the things I'll point out to the project manager is to make sure that these screen doors find their way to a safe place so that they don't get damaged. And we always do that on all our projects. We'll take the screens out of the windows, screens out of the doors, move them into a garage or an attic space or something like that to make sure that they don't get damaged. You can see all of the screens here are waiting to get bagged up and put away. In here, oh, you know, one thing that did happen since we were here last week, we have covered over all of the doors. These are extremely expensive doors and we don't want anybody to use them and we don't want them to get damaged. So we have literally framed, well, not like a full wall, but most of the wall in front of the doors to prevent them from getting damaged. So thumbs up for that. This window has been left out on purpose. And the reason this window has been left out is this is how the drywall will get loaded into this house, right? You can imagine you've got these 12 to 14 foot sheets of drywall. Some of them are gonna be, I think up here it's all gonna be 4 by 12 or 14. So being able to deliver the drywall through the window is just gonna make it so much easier for the drywallers rather than trying to hump drywall up the stairs. We've done it. The delivery guys get really, really choked when you do it. So we don't. Some of you that don't see a lot of new construction may look at this blocking in the wall and wonder, what the hell is that? So this is shear wall blocking. In North Vancouver, well, Vancouver in general, we live in an earthquake area. So there's crazy seismic requirements that our engineers put on us for when we're building homes. And so what happens is, like, this piece of plywood here will have a nail every 3 inches around the perimeter and every 6 inches in the field or in the middle of the sheet of plywood that goes into the studs. What that does is it makes it more difficult, almost impossible, for the wall to rack like this, right? You can imagine like framing a 2x4 wall and not having anything on it. If you just push at the top, if somebody was standing and holding the bottom of one end and somebody pushed at the top of the other and went like this, you could just imagine like that wall just kind of smooshing on top of itself. So if we take a sheet of plywood and we nail it on there, assuming the bottom is stable, right? If you exert a force on the top pushing sideways, that wall isn't going to collapse anymore because you've got something holding it in place. It's all about creating triangles. And so while a piece of plywood is rectangular, what do 2 triangles make? So we are downstairs in the basement. I have never done a window detail like this before, but we're doing it on this one. And what's gonna happen is the window itself is actually gonna be inside of the framing, inside of the house. And the rest of this out here is all gonna stay as is. So this is gonna get covered in flashing. We've got basically a paper face ply. So this will all get wrapped in flashing to hide everything. And this area here is sloped away so that water will shed quickly. And then we've also got a detailing in the top of the concrete here that will prevent water from water is really sticky. If you didn't know that, water will kind of stick up in your glass when you're looking at it. If you remember from like Chem 11 or Chem 12, you got the meniscus of the water. Water's sticky. What we have to do is create, depression would be down. I don't know what the hell you call that. The opposite of a depression, so that when the water comes across, it has to drop down. It can't come across and then make its way into the home, right? So that's a really important detail up there. It's a really interesting detail. I've never seen anything done like this before. So kind of excited to see how that all works out, but that's how these windows are getting dealt with. So stay tuned to see how these things turn out. Should be very interesting. So we were just talking about shear wall nailing, and so all of the outside of the house is now covered in peel and stick, so can't really see what's been done outside right now, or not easily anyway. So this is inside, and yes, inside of your home we still have shear walls. And so this is an example of how many nails go into shear walls. It's a lot. Thanks as always for checking in and seeing what we're up to. If you would like to build a custom home, we're the company to build it for you. Please reach out on our socials or at our website or office. Listen, thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome.